Okay, so yes, it is I. I am back, back again. And yeah, we got some stuff having to do with Final Fantasy VII. It was the 25th anniversary recently. There was a 10-minute 25th anniversary presentation, and I want to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to get into the details. There's a lot to examine and talk about, but I just want to touch on something that maybe I'll have it noticed. I don't know. I'm very detail oriented. I like to dig into the finer details, as you know, as a clarith. Okay. You're going to be very detailed and look at the finer nuances that might be missed by other people. And as such, I did notice something throughout the presentation that I found concerning, and I wanted to share that with you today. Now, first of all, listen. You know I don't like to be negative. You know that I have respect for the characters that Square has created. Okay, I always try to be fair. I try to be fair whether we're talking about Cloud or Aerith or Crazy Tifa. I try to be fair, but at the same time, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to refrain from pointing out some uncomfortable truths. So let's do it. We need to talk about, yeah, I don't even really want to say his name, Zack. We're going to go there a little bit. And I'm going to tell you that I wasn't really overly enthused with their handling of Zack in this presentation. So, okay, you know, as of the portion where they get to Ever Crisis, what's one of the first things you see? Zack. There's a lot of Zack in Ever Crisis. And I'm like, wait, I thought this was the Final Fantasy VII anniversary celebration. What has Zack got to do with anything? Where is Cloud? So Zack is like all over the place. Chibi, spiky haired Zack, like whatever. Where is Cloud? He was hardly in there. So already I was like, uh oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. Then what do you get next? Crisis Core. That old game from 2007, trotting it out again, like anyone cares, for the PSP. And now we're going to update it. I'm like, really? No one cares about that. So I'm like, more Zack? Give me a break. And I don't even think Cloud was in that trailer. Like, where? I'm looking for Cloud, the protagonist and the true legacy of Final Fantasy VII. Where's he at? I don't get all this Zack stuff. So there was Crisis Core. And I'm like, okay. So we finally get to Rebirth. I'm like, okay, finally we get to see Cloud. Not really. We see the back of his freaking head. And then we see him unconscious. For half of the trailer, he's sitting there unconscious. And I was like, what is this? What is going on? And who do they feature more than anyone else? Zack. And I can tell you one thing, he's not unconscious. He's walking around, but for some reason, Cloud has to be sitting there like a limp rag doll. I have to be honest, I found it disrespectful. And this is one of my problems with Crisis Core. There's a trend here. Cloud spends half of his time in Crisis Core unconscious. I'm like, what in the heck is this? Why is Zack lugging Cloud around? Like I said, like a lifeless zombie corpse through half the game. It's so disrespectful. Like, what is this? I thought this was supposed to be Zack's story. What does this have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you. I find it really telling when you feel like you have to nerf a character like Cloud, who was supposed to be just a cameo. You have to nerf him and literally render him unconscious to sort of give Zack center stage, because you know that if Cloud were even half conscious, he would blow Zack out of the water. He would outshine him easily. So they don't have confidence in their own character. They know he's not compelling. And look, I don't have a problem with Zack. Zack is cool or whatever. I don't have a problem with him, but I'm just keeping it real. He's not an engaging character. He's bland, and they know it. So they have to nerf Cloud, have him unconscious, so that Zack can shine or whatever. That's where you know they don't have confidence in their own character. Okay, they know that Cloud is more compelling. So that was already weird in Crisis Core, but to see that they're carrying it over And they chose to feature it in the trailer, first of all. And then evidently they're going to feature it in the game itself, in Rebirth itself. Like, I don't want to see Cloud being unconscious for half of the game, just being lugged around by this random Zack. And then apparently in this iteration, they make it to Midgar. So we're going to get to see even more lovely footage of Zack being carted around in a disrespectful manner, not uttering a word, not saying anything. I mean, this is whack to me. So I'm just saying that I really found it problematic that they are going with this unconscious cloud storyline. Like, what does this have to even do with anything that took place prior to the events of Final Fantasy VII? Why are we retreading that? And why are we sort of shoehorning in Zack? I find it problematic. uh, Cloud is the protagonist and he should be the focus. And having him unconscious for half of his own game is just disrespectful. And being so bold as to put that in the freaking trailer, you can't even have Cloud conscious and aware and able to speak for himself and advocate for himself like he's some dummy or some puppet or some. I wasn't feeling it. And it's a problem. So I had to get that out there. I find it problematic. I hope that they remember that Cloud is the heart of Final Fantasy VII. I just wanted to put that out there. Again, maybe in a different video, we'll get into the Clarith aspects. We'll get into, I mean, you can see even on unconscious Cloud's face, with some of the dialogue, which I think is very heavily Clarith coded, you can kind of see the emotion in his body language, even though he's not conscious. For whatever reason, he's unconscious. Um, well, I think at that time, actually, he wouldn't have met Aerith yet, but whatever. That'll be for a separate video. I just wanted to point out, pay attention. I'm watching you square. I don't want to see you putting down Cloud to raise and prop up Zack. But a final note, since we're talking about Zack, let me just get this off my chest because it bothers me. People are going on and on and then Zack, 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 Zack. Oh, he and Cloud are such best friends. Yeety, yeety, yee. Okay, so people love to claim that because Cloud and Zack are so close, this is one of the reasons supposedly why Clarith doesn't work, because Cloud wouldn't dare go after his best friend's girlfriend. Best friend? I don't see it. Listen, Cloud and Zack met at Shinra. Yes, I imagine that maybe they cross each other in the hallways once or twice at best. Okay, now Shinra has its problems, but I do imagine that they have a pretty decent drink assortment. Like they do provide complimentary drinks, hot and cold. I believe this. So I could see Cloud getting him some tea. Zach seems like a coffee guy, you know. And maybe they cross paths. They pass by each other. And Zach's the kind of guy who can't even be bothered to actually say a proper hello. So he would just glance Cloud's way and just nod, do that bro nod, like, huh. Can't even say, hey guy, hey there, because he don't know Cloud's name. He wouldn't take the time to learn Cloud's name because he's a little lowly grunt, even though this is the future of Final Fantasy VII. But at any rate, that's it. So they cross each other's path in some hallway. That's not a relationship, and that's not best friends. And let me tell you something else that I know about Zach. His coffee sucks. You know that he is lazy. He doesn't take the time to put any creamer, not even the cheap powdered creamer, let alone the quality creamer. There's no sugar. His coffee is bitter and it's bland. It's as black as his hair. Bitter coffee. But he's walking around like he's Mr. Big Stuff, like he has liquid gold in his cup. It ain't all that, Zach. Your coffee's bitter and it's mediocre and it's bland, like your choice in women. Well, supposedly he's supposedly into Aerith or whatever, so I don't know. But the point still stands: his coffee sucks. Now, Cloud. Now this is headcanon. Do I have proof? No, but I think it's reasonable. Cloud, first of all, it's tea. It's more sophisticated. Sorry. and you know that he has just the right amount of creamer, just the right amount of sugar. He takes time. He cares. Zach can't be bothered. He's too lazy to even prepare his coffee right. And this is supposed to be the legacy of Final Fantasy VII. I don't think so. You need to work on your coffee first. Get the basics right, Zach. Okay? So, anyway, my point is if you're really intelligent, you can see that Zack and Cloud don't even have a significant relation. Zack can't be bothered to learn Cloud's name. He can't be bothered to make some decent coffee. And I don't get why people are so obsessed with Zack and his bitter ass coffee, frankly. But anyway, I think you get the point. Um, Listen, I don't have a problem with Zack. He's cool or whatever. I'm just saying the boy's coffee sucks. Okay, that's it.